gorgeous people. I apologize for the crappy lighting and for the fact that there is probably a lot of noise in the background, but I wanted to come here to reiterate to you the importance of belief. You know how they say believe in yourself and how cliche it is? Well, let's dissect that a little bit. Don't worry about believing in yourself, but check in about your beliefs about the world and about your beliefs with LOA. You don't need to really believe in the thing that you're trying to achieve in order to obtain it. You just need to believe in the process. Same with confidence. Confidence isn't that you know that you're going to be able to do X, Y, Z necessarily. It means that you'll be able to figure it out. I want you to now look around at your environment. Take it in for a minute. Where you are, which room you're sat in, the circumstances in which you're in. Yeah, there are some things that are completely out of your control, I'm sure. But I'm sure there's a huge portion of it which is also a reflection of you. This present moment in which you're existing is a reflection of a past version of you. What beliefs are those based upon? Think about the version of you that exists in your dream life, maybe even your dream self. What does their life look like? What would you need to believe in order to create or build that dream life? I'm sure many of you are aware of the placebo effect. That's the power of the mind, basically. Power of belief. What you believe about yourself is true. And that doesn't mean that it's universally true. It just means that it's true for you. What you believe about the world, similarly, is also true. Your ability to move within it, how you move within it, it's also true for you. The way that you take things in, the way that you perceive things, it's based off of the foundation of belief. Yeah, sure, there are other factors along the way, but the biggest thing that will determine the outcomes in your life is your beliefs. If you're part of the LOA community, I'm sure you're already aware of this and you've heard a lot. They talk about shifting in your physical reality, and yes, we're all aware that habits and physical reality shifts can create change, but we are also aware that that happens over time, over what we would consider to be a long amount of time. Whereas if you shift in the 4D, or you shift in your mind, it's a completely different story. I want to tell you a little story. I've recently started a part-time job, and one thing that I grapple with is something that I've grappled with honestly my whole life, which is self-confidence. Feeling like I deserve to take up space and be my real self. I've always gone between being myself and then sort of becoming a character because I found comfort in that. It was easier to be Bella Swan or Elena Gilbert than it was to be just me. And so I would spring between that and then some weird, awkward, lame version of me that would silence herself so that other people wouldn't do it for her anymore. This year has been very difficult for me personally, and as a result of that, my anxiety skyrocketed. And here I was in this part-time job that, yes, I pushed myself to do, but no, I wouldn't fully let myself express myself the way that I wanted to. And yeah, I was sort of taking up space. Yeah, I was sort of putting in my best. Yeah, I was sort of happy, but it wasn't until yesterday where a certain individual walked in and I had a certain conversation where everything sort of changed. This certain individual is not really anybody special. They're just somebody that I've known for a very long time. And I conversed with them openly because I was genuinely excited to see them. It had been a while. I enjoyed our conversation and it was entertaining, and I realized that everything I'd been doing in private on my own to build my self-confidence all of a sudden translated and became this beautiful thing where I'd suddenly let myself take up space and just speak and say what came to my mind and not hold myself back for fear of being judged. I let it go. I stepped out of my comfort zone in a way without even meaning to do so, and it changed everything. Not only did I survive that conversation, I thrived in it. And you might think, geez, was it really that bad? No, not at all. The person was really quite nice, and I'm sure that helped. But it was also what they represented and how it didn't trigger me. Or it did, but I didn't let it get to me. You see, every day I tell myself who I am. We all do. We do it either consciously or subconsciously in the actions that we partake in throughout the day. And consciously, I've made a huge effort the past couple of months to really change that, to change who I am, more specifically to change how I perceive myself, and to see myself as enough. And so lo and behold, yesterday, without me even meaning to, I did it. I was her, without even meaning to be. After that conversation, I felt like I could do anything. I felt like all of the dreams and everything I've ever wanted to create and bring into reality was reachable. You see, because this conversation existed outside of my comfort zone, the way that I presented myself and showed up and conversed in this specific conversation was the way that version of me would. Because I stepped up. Because I've been rehearsing her every single day for quite a while now. So everything else that I dreamt of that is also outside of my comfort zone suddenly felt that much more accessible. And today, I went to work again. And I was her. I was her after that conversation, and I've been her since. And I'm not saying life hasn't had its bumps. I mean, today, I overslept, and that was a whole nightmare in itself. But work was good. Life was good. And it was good because I was me. Your beliefs are truly the foundation of everything, and this is just a personal example off the top of my head. But if you really feel like things are out of your reach, maybe it's not that you aren't stretching far enough. Maybe it's just that you're standing in the wrong area. You're standing inside of your comfort zone, in a broken version of what it means to be you. But you can change that. You can let go of that. It doesn't matter what other people say, what limits other people might put on you. You can't do that because you're X, Y, Z, or even you saying it to yourself, I can't do this because I've been this for so long. You don't have to agree anymore. You don't have to accept that as your reality. You don't have to accept that as your truth. You have the power to change what you believe. And if you don't believe me, that's the first thing you need to change. That's it for today's video. I hope that inspired you. If it didn't, I'm sorry. Feel free to comment that. I don't mind some constructive feedback. But from one human to another, from one person who struggled with self-belief and just beliefs in general, this is my testament to say that it's true. Even if you don't believe in law of assumption, law of attraction, know this. The placebo effect exists for a reason. So surely, to some extent, you could placebo yourself too, right? Everything that exists around us, our daily routines, what we pursue as humans, is based off of certain beliefs. And I'm not saying they're not valid. Each person's reality and version of truth is valid. But why should you have to sit in a truth that doesn't serve you and honestly just hurts you? Your beliefs are the building blocks for your life. So make sure they're strong. That's it. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.